Welcome to the Michigan Golfer Show with your host, Bill Shelton. Join us each week as we explore the people, the places, and the events that shape our great game.
How long has this course, the Dye course here at French Lick, how long has this been in the process of being put together to where we are today?
Sure, I'd say it was probably about 26 months ago we started this. So.
When you looked at this piece of property, and certainly, as Pete has said, it's different than many of his pieces of property because it's not a vista of water, it's a vista of 30 miles of land up on the top. This is a little different course for the typical thing we think about in terms of Pete Dye. But as you worked with this piece of property, what were the unique things that you really had to try to resolve to get there?
Well, I mean, the views were the key. And to design 18 golf holes where you got almost a 360-degree view on every hole is just unheard of. I mean, I think it just really turned out it's unbelievable. And that was Pete's objective. And when we took the top off these hills, we met a lower some of these hills, I don't know, 30, 40 feet just to get 2 golf holes on top instead of 1. So that's where you got the views.
So this course joins the 18-hole Ross course here and a 9-hole course that was here. And so now you've got a Pete Dye, someone who's going to be in the Hall of Fame, the World Golf Hall of Fame, in a very short period of time, along with Alistair McKenzie and some of those kinds of people. And I understand, and even by Pete's own admission, this is a very difficult golf course that people are going to want to play. Is it by virtue of the terrain that makes this such a difficult golf course? Is it the second shot? What do you think is really the key?
Well, the key to making it difficult is we left a lot of rough out there. We didn't put bunkers wall to wall. I think Pete's mentioned a few times that a lot of the pros will start aiming for his bunkers because it's easier to hit a bunker shot than a rough shot. So we didn't put bunkers that go from the tees to the greens. We really broke it up a lot. We put a lot of rough out there. You can mow the rough down to 2 inches all week long. High handicap golfers can play out there. They really can't. You can get around that golf course, but you let the rough grow, and I think you're dead. 80-foot wide fairways, maybe 60 in some areas. And if you don't hit the fairway with a 4-inch rough, I think you can make it play tough.
So we've got something for the golfer that shoots bogey or so.
Absolutely.
And then it happens that Brad is a scratch golfer.
Sure.
What's going to be the challenge for a scratch golfer putting the two together? How did you set it up so that either one of us, somebody's a 10 handicap, somebody's a scratch golfer, how did you set this up that either one of us are going to enjoy that golf course?
I think when you play the tees, from the back or the blue tees from 7,600 yards, and you hit.
That's the answer.
I think
that's the answer.
You hit 250 or 280. You're hitting into a backhill slope. You're not getting the extra roll. You go up to the white tees, 230 yards. You're catching the downhill roll. You're getting an extra 40 yards every time you tee it up. Little things like that, I think, really show up when you're getting an 18th hole with your score. I think you can score well.
Even though this is, I don't know if the word mountainous is right, but it's certainly a hilly golf course, and certainly the second highest point in the state of Indiana. But you minimize the blind shots. You minimize in other words, so the golfer is able to see where he or she is trying to hit the ball.
You do, and we moved a lot of dirt. We spent a lot of time making sure you can walk the golf course. You get off a green, you might mark 150 feet. You're on the white tees usually. If you're going to play the back tees, you can walk back to them for Pete's sake at any time. And as far as blind shots, we really, the course is good balance, and there aren't any bad blind shots that I know of where you're actually hitting, over a hill where you can't even see your ball land. So it really turned out well.
In this day of the tough economy in America, many golf courses are having a difficult time. What's going to be the attraction for people to come to French Lick, Indiana, to play this golf course?
Well, with the resort, the West Baden Dome, all the history here, I think the golf course is really going to help this whole town. I think it was the missing link to the complete package down here, and I'm sure there'll be other courses to follow in the next 5 or 10 years. I really do. I think they could be a golf destination, and time will tell.
Okay. Do you want to just, for the record, say what's the toughest part of working with a guy that in 80 plus years, knows so much about golf. What's the toughest part of being an associate with him, trying to carry out some of his philosophy when you build a golf course?
You know, I end up with a lot of sketches in the back of airline tickets and on the back of, you know, pieces of paper that he found laying on the floor or whatever. And what we'll do is we'll go out and we always give him something to look at. And if it's right or wrong or close or far off, there's always something. The wheels start turning in Pete's head. He always comes up with a great golf hole, no matter what direction it gets started in initially. And he always needs something to look at. If he's standing there looking at a field, you know, there's, well, I don't know, you just need to get out and really get some lines, get some hard lines, show a hole, play right to left, left to right, vice versa.
Now you got your start in the business more in the construction side. In other words, moving the dirt, et cetera, et cetera. So it's been a nice blend for you in terms of design as well as the actual moving of the dirt and creating the course.
It really has, and I knew an awful lot about moving dirt and you know, building topography, architecture, topography. And getting into the design has just really been, you know, rewarding. And being involved with Pete, obviously, there's never a dull moment. And you go into MSU and I have a soils degree, landscape architecture degree. So everything really, the complete package really came together. It really has. I mean,
That's great.
One complements the other.
Well, we're looking forward to it, and we know that the golfers across America are always looking, as Pete one time said, that if they would put a flagstick on top of Mount Everest, that someone would go there and play golf. Well, obviously, French Lick, Indiana is a place that you're going to want to come to play golf, and certainly the Pete Dye course here is one of those reasons to be here. So I'm sure you're going to want to give it a shot. Great.
What was the first course that you worked on for Pete?
Well, it was in 1985, and I was really young, and it was Black Wolf Run up there in the river course. The first 9 holes they put in up there for Herb Kohler.
And Pete, how did you happen to hire him?
God only knows. I remember him out there picking up sticks, and it looked like he was picking up sticks faster than anybody. So he's been picking them up ever since. And really, and he's done a great job. He's finished here at school at Michigan State, and all the degrees and everything, agronomy and landscape architecture. So Chris has got a great future, and